where voices cry but none can speak. In halls of whispers, secrets keep. We're here to break the silent streak. Stand up, fight, don't let it go. Reveal the truths they won't show. In the darkness, light will glow. Justice rises, voices flow. Children's dreams are cast aside in the system where lies reside. We won't let them run and hide. Hearts are strong, we're full of pride. Stand up, fight, don't let it go. Reveal the truth they won't show. In the darkness, light will glow. Justice rises, voices flow. Children's dreams are cast aside in the system where lies reside. We won't let them run and hide. Hearts are strong, we're full of pride. Stand up, fight, don't let it go. Reveal the truth they won't show. In the darkness, light will glow. Justice rises, voices flow. In every tear, a story's told. Every heartbeat's calling bold. With hands and spirits, we will mold a future where love takes hold. Stand up, fight, don't let it go. Reveal the truth they won't show. In the darkness, light will glow. Justice rises, voices flow.
All right. Where's everybody at? All right, everybody. Where are we at? Hello? It ain't saying me. Oh, why ain't we down up here? Hello? Oh, my gosh. Well, I guess nobody wants to talk to us. Where's everything? Oh, there we are. Look, hey, y'all. So we got, hey, y'all, welcome in. We got me here. We got Brenda with us. Brenda, I'm going to bring in Brenda. We got
bringing in Brenda.
Here's a Brenda, and then we got the Gunner. Gunner's here with us. So we're here with CPS Breaking News. Our last show, we got some information and some news, and we're going to discuss some things. Let's bring in Gunner. We got the chat over here to the whatever. Which way is that? Right.
To the right.
Right. Okay. So hey everyone.
To the right. To the
right. Welcome. I know, right? I can't tell my. Hey Tammy, how are you? So how's everyone doing? Happy Mother's Day to all the moms and parents out there, even the ones that we don't have our kids this holiday. I mean, it's on Mother's Day, but I promise you, you're well loved, and we need you. So we love you, and you have the best day ever because you're still a parent, and that's what matters. Hey Tammy, and just know you're loved, and if you're going down that rabbit hole that you feel like you're down and out, don't do that. Don't. If you need to reach out to anyone, and we'll be here. I'll be on and off somewhere. Gunner may not be, but okay, Gunner. I'm just kidding.
Hi, Tammy.
I was just.
Hi, everybody. Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Welcome, guys. This is what this case is doing. My phone has not stopped whatsoever. From groups, advocates, people, everybody reaching out. We are gaining momentum. They know about the case. It's going all across the United States. It's catching. Yes. We're getting stuff from all sorts of other groups. Listen, guys, I'm not discounting any of you other groups that are doing things. You do what you do. Right. You go with your methods, whether it's a family forward moving project, whatever it is, 10 Downing, all this. You guys work your angles and do your things and what it is.
We'll do ours.
And we have nothing against that. Anybody on the show or anything, you fight your fight with this and that. As far as this is concerned, this is what we're working on. And it's not a class action. We are not going after it a certain way. We're not doing those other things. We are looking to destroy the system in its entirety. Everything else after that is just cleanup, just bottom line. So forgive me if I'm going through this, and I think, you know, there's a lot of questions that a lot of people had that I know the biggest one is how does this affect everybody in every state? And how is this coming here? How is this coming here? This is how this works. This case with our case, mine and Sharon's case, we're going in under the guise of what happened to us, which gives us the open door to expose the fact that our particular state, the state of Tennessee, is involved in a national child trafficking ring. And what we do is then we enter the evidence for all 49 other states that we have to show they are all implicated in this particular thing. And yes, we have that. The only thing that we are asking from the people right now, and all you advocates and everything else, is to, if you've had an issue with CPS, listen to me very carefully, okay? And this goes for everybody. Get a sworn affidavit and get it notarized. It has to be notarized to be a legal document. And you're going to email it. And I'm going to put the email over here in the chitty chat. And you're going to put in the subject line the name of your state or the abbreviated part of your state. And you're going to do sworn affidavit. Then we're going to categorize that. We're going to use that as evidence. And say, well, it's part of a class. No. You're going to be used as evidence to show to the federal court and to the people, this is happening all over the United States, and this is what's part of it. We need to focus primarily on the biggest strength we have that we already have, and we want to strengthen it anymore, is the state of Tennessee. So any of you that are watching from Blount County, Tennessee, that we did a special report on what was going on to expose all that. We want all that evidence right there of anybody, anytime that they have illegally, basically just any constitutional crimes, and keep it clean, quick. Don't get into all your emotions, anything else other than saying, this person did this to me on this date. It's just that simple. You can talk about the judge, you know, due process violations, whatever it is. I didn't have a jury. That's a big thing to put on there, you guys. If you didn't have a trial by jury, that's the way that this works. That's entered as evidence. When you know that you're put on as evidence, and you're also listed as, because of that, we'll go through some of those different things, that you are a potential witness within this case. And you will be properly served at any time we could call you to give testimony. If it's from a lot of the other states, we're going to pick and choose probably a couple and say, this happened to me, and understanding a lot of that's going to be, and I'm sorry to say, it's going to be those that can do things and not so much, unless video is going to be allowed, and we'll look into that too. But to make sure that you have the ability to physically show up in court. And this court case is going to be handled in Knoxville, Tennessee. So let me get this very straight. And yes, it is confirmed that the judge on this case, it was appointed by Donald J. Trump in his first term. And you can Google his name. You guys can see who it is.
Very
now,
good.
That's going to go with another thing. You're going to see a name. Oh, wait a minute. You were assigned this person, this Poplin, or this. That's the magistrate. Okay. Let me explain how this works in federal court. If you want to go, they're going to say you have to go to mediation at least once to see if you can work things out outside the courtroom and settle on this, that, if you want, if that's your choice. And that's usually when the state will come up and say, listen, we're willing to give you a settlement and a non-disclosure agreement so long as you come up with this.
Question.
What's that?
They said we were supposed to be in court within 15 days. They took 26. Does that qualify as due process?
No, that's actually a violation of their policies and procedures. Is what that comes under. Due process is when you're in court, what was done. Whether you got to court, yes, you could say it was not done in a timely manner. Therefore, it is part of due process to have a quick trial, for example. That is one thing right there. And I'm still working on this. I got distracted. Squirrel's got me all messed up. Every time with Squirrel, it's got me squirrel brained, and I'm all over the place.
Look,
I'm getting ready to put this in, and let me finish this. And there you go. There is the email that you will take and send it to. Make sure it's categorized. If you're in Tennessee, if you're a caseworker or a former caseworker and you have knowledge, and I've spoke to several of you out there before that have been caseworkers, and there was one caseworker especially that talked to me that says, hey, I was I was a caseworker, and when I found out what was going on, the trafficking, they blackballed the shit out of me. Listen, even if you've got a nasty case from CPS or for standing up for your rights, we need to hear this, because we're going to join this all together of how this is a criminal organization. This is a national criminal organization. And with the evidence we have, it's going to, the FBI, according to its standards, would quantify it as a domestic terrorist organization. So that's no joke, what we're talking about. And yeah, we've got everybody reaching out. A copy has been given to the U.S. Attorney's Office for this stuff. And to explain, like I said, to go through all 50 states, we're going to take and enter that evidence that will expose and put it on the federal record, everything in all 50 states of how this is working, the way it's working. There's one other question, and this one will go to, especially, I know this has happened to Danielle, and I'm not sure, Brenda, I don't remember, I'm a little fuzzy. But if your child has crossed state lines while in CPS custody, please give me a separate sworn affidavit on that with your statement of that sworn affidavit that my child left state lines or states, out of the state. Because by definition, once you cross state lines, that is considered trafficking. So if they've illegally had this child and brought it across state lines, that is a trafficking charge for them. This will start to add up as far as criminal charges. We're going to take all this evidence too that we have is going to go to the FBI and the DOJ to follow up with on individual cases, to build out the cases across the country on top of what we have, and can confirm all the rest of the stuff we have. When I say we have the evidence to take out CPS, the judges, the magistrates, anybody that's been in this, and anybody that's had their hands on this and in there, and how the organization.
Yeah, court-appointed attorneys.
When this comes out, this is going to blow the stack off of a lot of things, and people realize how corrupt and what has been done for us. And we have basically been sold as slaves. Yep. No different than what is that for. And it ain't got nothing to do with the color of your skin.
That's right. Right. It's happened to people that are every color.
Yeah.
Like it's
so you guys out there, our audience, if you're watching this or somebody else, share it this way or come back and watch the show. That's why we're addressing this early in the show, because a lot of people, it was so long. Yeah, your thing was 2 hours. We had a lot to cover.
Yes.
So you could understand. Because I'm not just going to say, well, here's the case number and you all do that. You've got no clue what to do with it.
Right.
And here's why, because all these other people and lawyers are going to be like, I know what he's doing. I'm doing this. Guess what? No, you don't. Because if you did, you'd be doing this.
Right.
There's the whole thing. I want a class action. I want this. We're not going after actors, people.
No.
We're going after the system directly at its heart.
Yep.
There's the difference between all you other organizations that are doing things, and you guys we love to share information, and we would love for you to take and share your information, you advocates out there that you do have with your people to help us with this and build this case up higher, because it's only going to benefit you.
Yep.
And then when you file your case, you can cite this case that we're going through.
And that's
what they're not going to want, because it exposes all of it. Yeah, it ain't going to be much longer. We've made enough stink. Yeah, we're already working with the FBI. We're waiting for the big dogs to get a hold of this. They've got a hold of a few and other things, but understand when this comes out, and like I said, it gets national news and everybody gets hold of it. Yeah, it is. It's getting there, guys, and you guys know
it. I heard on a radio station or something today. Was it new? Or it might have been TikTok about Blount County, and they're like, "There's been a federal case filed, and now the judges involved are on vacation right now for the holiday, and they don't know what to think." And they were talking about it, and I think this is
It ain't just one. Let me tell you something, guys. Yeah. Our case wipes out the entire Blount County courthouse.
Yes. Yes.
All them judges.
I mean, I've
then we got a few magistrates over there across the street at the juvenile building that gets wiped out. Oh yeah, for what? It's violation of your oath.
Yeah.
Don't get more serious than that. And you think I can't prove it?
It can be proven.
Guess we'll have to find out. But You realize
They-
you're playing fuck around and find out with somebody that you tried to destroy
Right.
and
Kids.
took everything
Mm.
and beat me down and my family and everything you did. Guess what? I made a promise to Jeremy Crenshaw. Yeah, the CPS caseworker that started every bit of this. That's right, buddy. You're going to be famous. I told you, you came after my house. I'll
Mhm.
burn your whole kingdom down.
Shared
Well,
love.
guess what? I'm a man
Here
of
we
my
go.
word.
Right. That's
You're
all.
done.
Then look, we are. Yeah, our
Oh,
word is our
run.
word.
It's
It's
gonna
He's
all-
going to be scared.
Kitty's
Huh?
saying I shared last night's live on our local news when they made a report today about CPS and a child dying. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good job.
Oh,
Thank
Start
you.
sharing that. Listen, share that podcast. You can go to the CPS Breaking News Network channel, and it's uploaded to where you can save it. It was last night, or you can go to our YouTube channel. We rebroadcast on several ones under Gunning for CPS on our
You
channel,
gotta
and it was
unmask
shown
him.
last night. It says special report in the corner in the video. You can't miss it.
I
Yes,
think you
it's
got
long,
unmasking
but it has
falsehood,
so much
corruption.
information. And our politicians and everybody else, let me tell you something. You better wake the hell up and wake up fast, because when this hits and how deep this goes, and everybody that ignored it, yes, even you, Senator Blackburn, yeah, I'm calling you out. Don't you sit on the Judicial Committee? But I guess this
Oh.
wasn't important enough for
Ain't she the one that
your
was-
office to deal with.
Wasn't she with
That
John
might-
Ossoff in that investigation? Is that Marsha Blackburn? Oh,
You got it.
Oh,
And that's the thing. I was calling all these people for years and years, all of them. You
and
know,
just oh my god, and just
We
to
don't
think she
have a
was-
voice with our politicians anymore. Not at
No.
all. They are so disconnected. 100%.
Wow, and just to think that she
Yes.
was on
Okay.
that
Let me facts over lies. Let me address that. Yes. There was a judge before all this other stuff, before this case of that teacher
Wow.
touching all those kids, of a
Uh-huh.
Blount County juvenile magistrate that is facing charges of tampering with child porn. She was destroying evidence for her son that had a federal
No.
ongoing case and helped him
Are you
destroy. And yes,
serious?
she was indicted, and she is
Hey,
getting
Dr.
ready
Death.
to.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Dr.
Yeah,
Death
absolutely.
said what did he miss? Gunner, Dr. Death did. So we're just talking
Just
about
sharing information. Listen, we put in our, if you scroll back through the things, if you have
I'll
it, but
put
we
it
put
in.
it, I don't know if they're, share at
can
the
put
bottom
it-
of the screen. Yeah, put it at
Okay.
the bottom.
Okay.
This is the email window. We covered two different things, and you guys can go back and watch this, share this. But all the advocates and everybody out there, if you want to get evidence, we need sworn affidavits all over the place. If you have constitutional rights violation, give me a sworn affidavit. Give me the names, the dates, and this, that, and keep it brief. Like this person came, this CPS worker came into my house with no warrant, this, that. This judge didn't give me due process. I did not have a trial by a jury. All those things need to go in there. Okay. Just real simple. And then the other one was in a separate one. And then you got to put in the subject line, the abbreviation of your state, and then affidavit. So we know how to sort it. We're not going to even, we'll scroll over it
that your
real fast,
email?
and then we'll just file it. Yes, that is the show's email.
Oh no. Is it still
Now,
down there? Okay.
if you have a child that
Yes,
has crossed
Dr.
state
Death, that's Gunner.
lines,
Yep.
okay, yes. If that has crossed state lines, your child has crossed state lines while in CPS custody, you need to state that, as well as any evidence showing they have crossed state lines, if you have it, and put that in a sworn affidavit, and with that in the email to the same, and put in the subject line, trafficking in your state
That's
and
part of human
trafficking in the
trafficking.
subject line. It makes it easier for us to sort it, and we're going to use this as evidence. So when you use this as evidence, we're going to do our best to make a list, and then what you'll end up getting is actually those that are going through it is you'll be put on a federal witness list. And what it is we get to pick and choose who we can call to the stand on the specifics, or just enter the affidavits if they'll allow it as sworn, because there'll be so much that they'll say to the truth of them. Those will be handed over in discovery. Okay. Once we do all of that, that just builds it, even in all cases. Then when we present it from all the other 49 states, Your Honor, here's the evidence of the crimes. Here's the victims that we can put on the record. When that's done, and then we set the case law precedents, and your evidence was used, and it was, and you hear the thing that we've won, then you can file your citing this case as you were used as evidence in this case in your motion or your complaint to push past everything and anything you can of saying, this is a legitimate case and we're part of this. Eventually, the saturation level of this will stink so bad, they're going to do something or have to do something. But the idea here is with as many of those going through and what's going to happen after that, it's going to turn around and just boom. It's just going to stop it.
That's
what about the kids taken from out of state to interstate?
That's what he's talking about, doing affidavit by itself.
Yeah, do that affidavit, and that's the trafficking. My kid was kidnapped, or they did it without this, and then took them across state lines.
Leaving
the key is state lines, and that's a separate affidavit from the other one.
Yep.
Okay.
Like I would do a separate affidavit for my son.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Make sure they're notarized and signed, and make sure your notary seal is still legitimate, so it's used. Okay. We will then get that information. Make sure that you put your name, your address, and all that other stuff. Because here's the thing: when that goes out, you will be served by U.S. Marshals. Okay, the same as that's the way this goes. So when you see the U.S. Marshals coming, who are here to serve you, don't flip out. Okay, don't and understand that's where I'm telling you because some people will.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
I mean, think about that. We're here to serve you.
See, I'm
not.
Or they may, like I said, that's how it's handled.
Yeah.
But this is enough to shut it down where all of our voices come together. And don't get worried about the money. The voices come together. When that happens,
hold these people
that's going to push in probably even before that, the criminal part of it. And then it's going to come down to, well, with all this stuff, it's going to force the fact that it proves the fact that we have been overthrown as a country. What does that mean under the Constitution? We got to go to the Constitution. We declare a state of emergency. We have already declared a state of emergency in Tennessee, waiting for a response from the president, from Patel, and I'm sorry, I went blank once again. DOJ, Pam Bondi. Once this gets, and it will get to them, they're going to wonder, well, we've got criminal stuff on that. That's massive. Yeah, no kidding. What are you talking about? The kids coming home? Yeah. Once they find out all this stuff's going on, yeah, the kids come back home. Who's your parents? Where you at? Right now, RFK is looking for 300,000 kids that have disappeared. Yeah. How do you think they got them?
How do we jump from the number that it was to 300 back up to 300,000? That's how corrupt these people have been. That's how hidden. And
the more you go down the rabbit hole, the worse it gets.
Right, and it's sickening. Pretty
and
bad.
They will put people in jail.
Can I ask you guys a question? Would it matter if your kids have been aged out? Because Danielle, weren't you saying something about
it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, Melania Trump. I was just saying that she has had a thing now for 25. She's got a funding for 25 million for kids aging out of foster care for rental assistance and to help them because there's nothing for them. I mean, when I was looking
at figuring out how to get back home, that's what they need help with.
Right.
Guys, here's the issue with a lot of our elected officials. They're looking at it from up here.
Right. They're listening.
We're down here.
Right.
But they can't relate.
No.
Till we can bring this into a court, which is our mediation to explain on common ground. Yep. Now we can articulate and communicate with them properly through the court system. This is why we have three branches of government, people. Mm-hmm. If you got to do it, how do you enforce it? And you got to look at the way those were done. And here's the thing. And guys, I say this very lovingly. A lot of you don't have a damn clue what the Constitution means or what it does or how our government works. And it's not, listen to me, it's not your fault. This was done by design of what we're exposing. Yes, it includes the Department of Education. Why? Because how many kids today, even the ones that just graduated, can write cursive and read the original documents of the Federalist Papers, the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights?
A lot of
There's the problem. Right. That's an act of treason by the Department of Education for not failing to educate our children, and they were receiving federal funds to do so. Mm-hmm. So no, and teachers, once again, you're caught up in the system with a lot of other things. These are policies. These are the people above you that you're answering to. And at the same time, what did they push? They pushed politics. They pushed religion. They pushed all this other stuff in, but yet they still failed our children by failing to educate them of their rights. Why?
Right.
Because if you can't write cursive, did you know you can't enter into contract and you're
That's
considered
right. Oh,
not mentally stable and now you're classified as something else? Incompetent.
Yeah. And that's
Now,
crazy.
guess what? Now they get all sorts of access to Social Security stuff. You're considered incompetent because you can't write cursive. You see how the trap is getting ready to spring?
Because
on the next
I know they
generation
taught
after we're
me.
gone?
I know they taught me cursive in school because I did.
But how many people, just like Brenda was saying, with the situation with Brenda, how many people have been arrested for this and in jails and served time, or people that have had false allegations against them for dealing with children, that CPS has made this shit up to frame people,
right?
And judges and magistrates. That's how
what we were talking about to Danielle the other day. Like, if it wasn't, in 2019, when I'm put in prison, and then they're trying to arrest my husband for this, he's ends up on probation. It just guys go back and forth. They are not happy unless you guys are locked up and shut up. And that's why we gotta keep pushing this, guys, because
guys, this is RICO. All day because it's fraud, and the evidence we have against the state of Tennessee that was already turned on the record goes all the way back to 2016. That means the state. Now listen, this is how this works. If a state is unconstitutional and doing things for treason and sedition, they have no jurisdiction. They can't prosecute. They can't build. They can't collect taxes legally.
They said where?
Oh,
right. They can't.
They can't collect flight. In other words, they can't. That means all that has to roll back and get taken off that they don't tell you they're supposed to do. Because hey, that judge they were talking about in Blount County? Did you know if it weren't for a bunch of people talking about this, but how many of them know that ever had a case before that judge can now file before that judge and have their case overturned and then sue that judge?
Yeah. That's why I can't wait till that happens with Judge Jennifer Johnson.
It's like
Florida, yes, Social Security. This is RICO.
That stole my children. End up stealing my husband. How was that? How was that not wrong?
They were targeting Brenda's family. Like that's
Kitty 20. What is that? Kitty 24 cat that's out there. Your husband has every right to be angry. Those are your tax dollars being spent not to teach them their rights, let alone think about it right now. Could you defend yourself in court, pro se sui juris? Are you educated enough to do that? Do you realize that is the standard that is supposed to be met by education? To do that as an informed citizen or resident of this state or country, if you vote, you're supposed to be competent before you vote.
Well, then I guess I was incompetent because I never was allowed to vote.
Social Security, because they've stolen Social Security through these CPS programs. They're throwing these
child support. They doubled
Social Security, so they're making pretty much triple the money that they would have just for a normal child.
Oh,
they were double dipping.
We got those guys. We got those records too of how much a couple states take and make that they charge Social Security, how much they give out, how much they give out to foster care, and how much they keep for what? Administrative fees. That's how they're running all the right now, all the state governments are running.
Is that what all the fees are? Like you look at your transaction record when they
pays the payroll, and then stuff like child support with child support that's an issue in some states. Some of them go towards a judge's retirement fund.
She said,
and
I'm
child
asking
support.
Right. And then they wanted, my mom used to get so mad because they would charge for every little thing, like $2 and then $10 and then $25. Well, that's an annual fee. And my mom's like, well, you know what? If they would just take out the one amount, she made a complaint to them. And I mean, it's ridiculous. She's like, no wonder where your whole check goes, Danielle.
Well, facts over lies. Listen, a high school diploma isn't what it is nowadays. It's only really needed to really get into college. If you're going to go into the trades or half of the other things are there that take common sense, they really could care less. Matter of fact, some of the best workers I've ever seen doesn't have a college or a high school education. And they were some of the most intelligent people I could think of as far as common sense and everything else. They were the most balanced. you know, and Kitty Cat, I get you. You want to figure out how to do this. Listen, we're not to that stage yet. We have to tear the system down first.
Money laundering.
Then comes down this, then comes down. Now, listen, if the president
Hi, Andrea.
intercedes at any given time, or the federal government does, yes, it can change faster. But until we have enough noise with this case and where we're going and how we're doing it, oh, well, he's just doing Tennessee. No, we're entering evidence of all 50 states in this case of the same thing. It's a national child trafficking ring. That's what we're exposing all the way to the core. And here's the thing, and I'm going to go on record. Yes, we have all the evidence. And if you think we were dumb enough to just turn, some into the court, hold on to some and all that other good stuff, think twice. Because we've got it scattered in all sorts of top secret places and everything else that you'll never damn find, and it will get out. And oh, by the way, we may have just, since we are IFPO, that's right, I am registered as a independent journalist with the IFPO. I am press. I do have that First Amendment extra protection. Who's to say that some of that evidence didn't go on a flash drive out of the country or go on a boat somewhere? You just don't never know. So here's the thing. We covered all the bases. You think this is going down with me? Here's the thing. You just see me. That's what's in that case. You just see me. But here's the thing you don't see. The millions and millions of parents and kids that went through your system that is disgusted and hated and hate you. All of them are right behind and will be more than happy to place whatever they have, even their life, on that tree of liberty that needs to be refreshed from time to time with what? The blood of patriots and that of tyrants. And if it takes my blood or my life to set this due, nobody takes it. I give it willingly and lay it down for our children, for our freedom, and for this Constitution and for this country. You don't have to go and serve overseas to serve this country. The best thing you could ever do in this country is serve the Constitution and your fellow man in this country. And let's make something clear as far as our Constitution too for everybody. The Constitution's very clear. Sharia law will never take and exist in America. For you to continue to talk about it or to say you want to replace it with the Constitution is an act of treason in this country.
Right.
Let's make that very clear. Any religion, not just that one, any religion or ideology that comes against the Constitution is an act of treason, and it's an act of war. Right. So if you think this country's going to roll over like some of the other nations that are going with Sharia law or other things there, think again. Our Constitution strictly forbids it. As a matter of fact, the rule for that is treason, even if punishable by death. Right. So don't think that you're above that or you're going to hide behind it. You either assimilate or you get the hell out. Right. We're done. We as Americans, we're going back to the Constitution.
Is it El Salvador?
You think it's something that you don't think we've been talking, that we know that Alcatraz is getting reopened? Yeah. What happened up at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba? Didn't they just remodel that during the whole Biden administration to make that thing huge? Didn't they just working on a deal with El Salvador? Why? Because if you're accused of treason or convicted of treason, you don't serve your time on American soil, nor do you have any constitutional rights. We have every right to put you at Guantanamo Bay or all the way out to El Salvador to serve your entire life sentences. So once this it pops and it catches thing, how many caseworkers are going to be popping up real fast and this person or this or that just dying to give us evidence? Hey, I got some over here. Oh shit, it's evidence. We've already got enough to tear it down. We would just love to have more just to make the point. Hey, don't use the small hammer. We're coming in with explosives and napalm, and not literally, but with the evidence. Let's make that clear so nobody mistakes it. Oh, he threatened with napalm and nuclear. No, this is nuclear. The evidence is nuclear.
It's going to be huge, guys. Like Trump says, it's going to be huge.
And listen, we don't want, and the other thing we're going to say is not violence. Let's make sure that we live under the Constitution, because the Constitution says that we're supposed to live amongst each other and govern ourselves. Not a police state, not anything else, but we're enough of adults to act fucking right. And for you out there that want to act fucking ignorant and stupid, well, you'll just get dealt with. But here's the problem. You're going to be dealt with a whole lot harshly after this is all done. Because ain't nobody putting up with no shit. And I got a real good feeling, that Second Amendment's going to come in with no restrictions once all this is done. And you know what that means for all my people? It's game on. The blades of grass just got armed even more. And let's make something extremely clear as far as we the people, and for anybody else out there thinking, oh, well, this, oh, well, that. True veterans and their true oath will not turn on the citizens. And let's make another thing clear. Just 2 states out of the union. You take Michigan, and Wisconsin. The registered hunters in just those 2 states outnumber any military force in all the world. That's why we the people in this country is what it is. Bottom line. It's going to be constitutional or it's going to be nothing. You're muted. What are we doing this for? Are we mad?
No, I'm playing charades. I'm seeing if y'all can guess what I'm doing.
Cordamon says adoption pardons void all adoptions past, present, and future children trafficking victims of CPS. Yeah, it's just a constant circle.
That whole adoption thing.
Herself. She was a foster youth, and then all her children were taken into foster houses. What's happening?
Listen, the adoption and the falsifying and this and that and people have asked me a lot about that adoption and the kids and everything else. Listen, when they date back to as far back as this go and this system goes down, yes, those kids will be ripped out of those systems and returned because it was illegal and unconstitutional. And therefore, everything they've ever touched is null and void. It's just that simple. The problem is states have hid this stuff from us when judges, like what happened in Blount County, turned around and did what they did or was under investigation. And now they've been indicted. And I think there's a trial coming up for that particular case here soon in federal court, the same federal courtroom that we will be in. I think in our division, not the courthouse, I should say, not the same room. But understanding too that they didn't notify any of the public that this was going on, so they could start filing their appeals to anything that judge ruled on to have it overturned because of the integrity of the judge and doing what they did. That's why taking an oath and being a judge for a lifetime is so serious. And they take it so I'll get away with it. And my buddies will go, listen, those days are done. Welcome to the internet and everything here. Listen, you thought Big Brother was one thing, you turned it on us with a lot of people are talking about the Patriot Act and that getting repealed. Guess what? We got the same damn cameras and the same damn shit now. So guess what? You thought you had a gun and we didn't have a gun. Guess what? Now Rabbit got the gun. Bring it on. Because now we got you. And we got your evidence. See, I guess a lot of these people just don't figure. They have to, the Freedom of Information Act is a beautiful damn thing.
If they would leave it alone, down here in Georgia, Kemp wants to be messing with it. He wants to clean it up. Bullcrap. And then he don't want to.
No.
Georgia doesn't piss me off.
Chattanooga, no, we will be in the Knoxville division is where it's at. Is where the courthouse is. The judge is from Chattanooga. If you guys read through there, it's Judge Ackley. He was appointed by Trump himself in the first term.
You see this? Hello from Pittsburgh. I was the responsible adult that kidnapped my grandchildren for no reason. And yes, I can confirm the bonus for every baby removed. Oh, you caramba. Oh, so an incentive. They see that. So
any of that evidence, you got a CPS. Listen, if you're a former CPS worker, you guys know one, tell them to get with us. Contact me on the email on the show. Get a sworn affidavit. Let's have a conversation. If not, talk to Danielle. Talk to Brenda. They have ways of getting a hold of me. This is, like I said, and when Darren gets back in the saddle here, it's game on, boys and girls. It's over with because now we're going to get really to this, and it's coming. And yes, a lot of other things. Listen, guys, you guys did great for what you did. Listen, I'm gonna give a shout out to all you groups and podcasts and everything else you're out there doing. advocacy and everything else. Listen, guys, pat on the back. Good job to do what you do while you could to survive through this corruption. But it's about to end.
Rough.
And the only way, listen, when we say end, we're talking about constitutional rights violations by states, not the actors. We're talking about the state itself committing these acts and giving them permission. We have that. We have it for all 50 states. And we know about all of it. We know about the sheriffs. We know about the state sending letters down to sheriffs and police departments. Listen, deputies, if you know that's been done, and out there put in their deputy statement in your state, yes, I was given an order by my sheriff not to interfere with CPS and only to take and do this. Listen, that's going to mean a lot when it comes to this flipping on whether or not you were just bamboozled or you're part of the problem.
Gunnar, what about that's what I was thinking. And when you talked about interstate ICPC and stuff like that, what if you had a relative that was approved and certified in another state to adopt their siblings who were in foster placements? Is there anything that could be done about that? Because obviously you would think
right now,
it would be the next secondary.
That's going to be secondary. That's going to be, listen, we're not doing this forever. We're doing this to tear down the system. You guys pick up the breadcrumbs and the rubble pieces that are left in your own state with your own cases. The point is this is where your voice is heard. We're not going against this, that. We're going in and saying there are constitutional rights violations that every state is doing to obtain children, and they're doing that. That means, and even before the court cases, and yes, we have the proof that all the judges and magistrates saw the constitutional rights violations in their courtroom. We know, because we know what's in your courtroom, that what the judges looked at and everybody else. So we're fully familiar with it, what you looked at and how you looked at it. And here's the issue. The judges and magistrate did see it, and they neglected to do their constitutional duty. Missing it once is one thing, but when every case you've looked at, there's that same constitutional rights violation. And here's the thing.
That's not.
We know all about it. We know where all of it is, and it's enough to hang you, and you can't mess with it. Because right now, that's it. Everything's being monitored. That's right. They're looking for you to go, and we dare you to go ahead and try. Because when it comes down, that's an additional charge. How much is your life worth? Because when it ain't us, Listen, guys, I ain't saying that how much your life's worth as far as we're doing this. I'm saying when you get caught and you get sentenced, is it worth, when you take the chance that you're going to face the death penalty for what you've done and your participation in it?
Isn't it a violation of USC, what is it, 241 and 242, or do I get that wrong?
Is that right?
Somewhere around in there, yeah. The issue is the point. Here's the thing of individualism, and the thing that we're not a democracy. We're a constitutional republic that is not about the masses winning, but it's about individual liberties. Okay? The individual, the free thinker, the person to do for themselves. When you took that job as law enforcement or this or that, or lawyers or judges, you were supposed to use common sense and not just your job, and understood the Constitution is the one thing you never break. But instead, you've been trained and you thought it was cool as a cop. How do I get into a house, especially with a drug dealer? This, that. Listen, that's an excuse, man. That's an excuse to get past the Constitution. And how dare you? Matter of fact, when one of your brothers in blue or anybody else come up with some little thing to do it, what you should have done is reported them to IAB and had them fired and terminated and make sure they never held a job in public, because thinking like that is what got this country in trouble and where it's at today. Bottom line, for judges, police officers, this, that. Listen, that was your individual choice. And if you went with the status quo, and you know when they did that is when they divided everybody between with the thin blue line stuff. And it was going on right after the what was it, the Watts riots. Remember that? Mm-hmm. Most of you weren't even born then. There was so much police brutality going on in the LA police department. They had to redo their whole fair. They were beating the hell out of people in the streets.
You know what? Take that somewhere else, Lauren. We don't need that here, and you're not welcome here, buddy. No.
You don't deserve your kids. Guess what? My kids are grown and gone.
My
very
kids.
and all
takes
that
that
other stuff.
somewhere
If you think I'm thinking and
else.
trying to do anything else, that just exposed you as Lauren as you're part of the problem and probably part of the system and part of the corruption. And I'd say if you're any
That's
part of
right.
that, you probably violated the Constitution, and we're probably got somebody that has committed treason and sedition on the show. So if you're more than
Well,
welcome to
the thing
expose
is
yourself,
like, and look at
go ahead.
Debbie. She's a grandma and she's so worried about her grandson. I mean, you can't understand
Tell her bye-bye.
how these people feel unless you have been through it. You don't
You know,
And
understand.
here's the thing, let me get this really straight for everybody. Regardless of how you damn feel, the Constitution is the ultimate way, no matter how you feel. Whether you
Right.
feel that person shouldn't have their kid or shouldn't have their kid, that's not up for you to fucking decide.
Right.
That's for the
Right.
Constitution to decide. We have an inalienable, God-given right to raise our
I
children,
got you, Debbie.
and believe it or not,
Thank
screw
you.
them up the best we can.
She gone. Look,
That's
that was
our
a
freedom.
field goal. Sorry, y'all.
Well, that's for everybody. Listen, and
Yes.
that goes for everybody.
Mhm.
got
That's
you.
what this is about. And we're going to get stuff like that. And I'm just going to call you out. Listen, then you're
Yes.
part of the problem where you don't
I
see it and
can't
you're not educated.
stand when people are
You're
so
not
quick
educated
to
on the
be
Constitution.
stereotypical and judgmental
Listen,
just because they
let me
hear
give you an
CPS
example, guys.
or kids being
People
taken.
that are extremely religious, or you're very you're Baptist, this and that, or you're one of the religious groups of the same. You just want everybody to believe the same way you want to believe, or
Right.
live a certain way that you want to live. A lot of the
Right, Dr.
the
Death.
right religious people, oh well, all the gay and all that. You know what? That's great. You want them to convert and get their stuff there, right? That's okay. Work with them and try and talk to them, or maybe the same. But here's the thing: you're not understanding that a lot of the religious right is not understanding. The people that are morally going down, most of the people that are going down this, especially the people that I've talked to, and yes, I know a lot of people from the lesbian and gay community and all those other things. It goes with extreme trauma. They've been extremely damaged, which is why it caused that. And they say, well, it's not your fault. Well, they need to heal. There's some people so damn broken. You go through what they did and go ahead and see if you make it. How fucking dare you take and judge another fucking human and the shit they went through?
Yeah.
That's arrogance.
Especially
And
when
that's
you don't know the facts.
un-American. The Constitution must be followed regardless of how you
Right.
or I feel. I will step aside if you say the Constitution says something else, which is why we have not been educated properly in the public education system to live under the Constitution, because they don't want that. They want you to live under their laws, rules, codes, and ethics, and those don't even apply to us under federal case law. All rules, all codes, rules, and regulation are for what? Government only, not
Thank
for we
you,
the people,
Cylinder.
because it's what? Unconstitutional and lacks
Okay.
due process. Another constitutional rights violation.
Thank you, Seven Cylinder.
Guys, that's just what the Constitution says, whether we like it or not.
Yep, right.
No, the same thing with your religion. You force it down somebody's throat. Well, we want this to do that. The Constitution strictly forbids that. You realize we came from a country that the Pope, or that was out of England, was running the country, not the king. We saw how that takeover
Right.
happened and what it did. That's why it's in our Constitution, so it never happens again, and we all live free. But we haven't been, have we?
Not at all.
We know.
We
haven't been
I
able
don't
to be.
even
We
have my
haven't been able to be free or anything.
family.
Like,
Listen.
Brenda's family's been torn apart.
Oh, I know. Everybody's got their own, and here's the thing: when you think you've got it bad, you're going to hear another story. If you listen to this, it's 10 times as worse as yours. Like, oh my God, how did you survive?
Yes, exactly. There's always
here's the
somebody
other
with
thing.
a worse story, it seems.
And what happens when this happens? What's the first thing that they do that a lot of women take and do, and even men, but mostly women in demographics? You go to your doctor and you get on what? Drugs. Psychedelic, Xanax, Valiums, all this other
They
stuff.
want
'cause
to
you're
run
having
away
panic
from
attacks.
reality.
They are perpetuating big pharma sales in those areas just because of CPS.
Or you're going to take the alcohol, which is going to destroy you that way, because alcohol will destroy you.
Alcohol is another one. And then other
And
people, they can't get the pain so bad from what they have.
They just
And that's when they get into heroin. And you wonder why there's a drug addict problem? Because the government, the elected appointed officials and actors have done this to drive this to you. This is all by design. This is no mistake.
Right.
And if they'd call this out
right.
for what it is, that even RFK is saying, Big Pharma, look what you're doing to our food. Look what you're doing there. Where do you think all this, and who's at the center of all of it? They're protected by a bunch of lawyers.
Right. Right. Altogether,
and the people that have done this, and you're talking about, you know, what, and then the question becomes, well, what about foster parents? How are they going to be held accountable? And what's going on with this? And what about news reporters putting children on sale and doing this and this? Listen,
there's foster parents.
That's not for me to, hey guys, that's not for me to decide. We have a system for it. I think we lost Brenda.
No. Where'd she go? Our goal tonight is our kids. Everything else should come second to that, bar none. And you're welcome, CPS. Thank you for
Listen, Florida Mom, all the people that once this comes down and the investigations start for that type of stuff, oh yeah, you're going to see a huge shift. You know what they were talking about, redistribution of the wealth and this and that? That's going to happen too. Why? Because you realize when all this goes against you, they seize all your assets, bank accounts, nationally and internationally. All your items, your boats, your cars, your this and that. You are stripped down to poverty from being a millionaire and having all these nice things. So your credit card, none of it works. You have no access to cash. They will lock you out. They may let you live in your house till you're convicted, but you know, once again, once it's indicted, you're convicted, all of it's seized.
They should, yeah. And
once again, Florida Mom, there is a possibility, but once again, that decision is not up to me. That once again, that is another leg. It's just like a CPS worker that's a foot soldier. Foster parents, a lot are the same. Now, some of them are very corrupt and they abuse a lot of children, and a whole lot of sexual abuse happens. That when that's found out, yes, those people need to be charged when they start picking these kids up, and they need to be questioning these kids in foster homes when they come out by the federal government, by the FBI, and see whether or not they were touched or dealt with or anything else that happened on. And listen, that's where they need to focus the power on, is putting those people in jail. The others, I couldn't have kids and we just wanted to do this. We wanted to love, we want to do this. Well, I'm sorry, we're going to have to take this. Well, guess what? Work in your communities and start supporting other parents or single moms that need help. If you want time with children, involve, make your own family or your own circle and love and support each other. Be that person, man. I ain't got nobody and I got to go to work and my kids
get back to how it used to be.
Off. I got you back.
Right.
That's when we were a community.
How it used to be, yeah. And then that's when you see in the job description for these caseworkers and social workers, they're supposed to keep the community, the kid near their community. What's the community? Where's the communities anymore? Like,
listen, even growing up when I went to school, you know, both parents worked this and that. We had to go to school and we walked to school. Right. They had to leave early. We went across the street to the neighbor that wasn't family or anything else and stayed over there till it was time to go. And we walked to school. And we didn't have the buses and shit like that. And I was in the Chicagoland area. We got some fucking snow, and we say walk through snow. Oh, hell yeah, we walked through some snow. Even the blizzards. Yes, I lived through the blizzards of those days. Those were unbelievable.
1993. I remember that. We had a blizzard here in Georgia.
It was crazy. But guys, listen, this is a step-by-step, and I know everybody's anxious and anticipating for their kids to get back home and their families to home. Listen,
daughter's birthday.
What you need to do right now is we need to focus on preparing for that to come home, getting ourselves in good places, self-care, and being able to be there for our kids to help them heal and then heal together. We need to get back to a nation that needs to heal. 100%. Get rid of the anger, go through the process, and take some time just to love on your family. Hopefully, you know, with the way things are going, have a little trust in the new system that's coming up and getting rebuilt back constitutionally, and that it works the way it does, to where you have to do very little other than doing some paperwork. And by that time, guys, you know how many lawyers that'll be out of work, that don't even have a job or anything because the states are shut down and everything, and only the ones with federal licenses can do anything. And if you want to do pro se sutures, you're going to have 1,000 people show you how to file and do this and that, and for pennies on the dollar, and you're going to watch that whole system just go crazy. Why? Because there's no way it survives with this.
Right.
If all the states are actively involved in treason and sedition for trafficking
And
children,
they are.
you can't certify votes. You can't take and collect monies. You can't spend monies. You can't do anything. It's on complete lockdown. It's an immediate cease and desist.
Is that a voting card right there? Like,
I don't know. It's all
What is that?
backwards. It's been burned. I don't know. I'll have to look at it later.
yeah, because
I don't know.
it.
No,
look,
it's
I'm
jury
a
duty.
felon. Oh, and look, if they put me on jury duty, boy, let me tell you what. Look, I'd be like, what? Look,
Listen, yes, and absolutely. Listen, yes. Human trafficking has many forms.
Yes,
Okay, the
it does.
legal definition of human trafficking is taking something from its original place and placing it somewhere it is not designed or intended to be. And crossing state lines makes it a trafficking charge. That's what the legal
that with my
aspect
son.
says.
With my son.
So,
Trafficking.
but let me hold on a second. I got to take this call, girl.
So everybody, is she back, Debbie and Tammy? Are they back? I hope they're gone. Because I thought I kicked them out. But yeah, I do want to point that out. This is my first time. If this that's the voter card, right? Hey, hold on, y'all. Hey, is that the voter card? Is that voting? Sorry, y'all. I'm a felon and I have never been able to vote. And they have my son. Y'all know this situation with him, and I wish I can share this dance, like this video with y'all. Let me see if I can play it on my phone.
Wow.
Okay. So look, this
Sorry, I had to dip out. Mama was going to bed. So
my first time ever to vote. I'm allowed to vote now.
cool.
So that's great.
So now, guys, let me tell you something else here that you need to be aware of. When all this goes through and everything else, if a state is actively involved in treason and sedition, it means they also lose the power to what? Prosecute.
Yes.
No jurisdiction. That
Nope.
means in any case, civil or criminal,
Right.
would have to be reversed.
Yep.
But they'd have to file the paperwork, but it would be it would have to be reversed because they were not legal, and then you would have to cite that in your paperwork.
Do you know
After all this is going on, hey, I was
would be
convicted between this
crazy.
time and that time, no matter what it is. And listen, here's the bad
10
part.
years,
A lot of
10
bad people are probably going to get out of jail, and hopefully they take a second chance at it, but they're going to have to redo that whole system. Now you're going to look at nothing but a
Thanks, Laura.
federal system for a while.
Is she
and a
still
lot of
on
things
there,
gonna-
y'all? Where's she at? I don't see her. Did you see a Lauren on there?
I don't see anything.
Hold on. I don't see her. Hold
It's
on.
not in our comments unless it's something on the
Is
YouTube
it on-
page or something that's coming
Yeah,
up.
I'm gonna go check it out. So,
Facebook ads.
yeah.
Hey, go ahead and talk, darling. We don't care. You're under the impression that your opinion matters to anybody. There's the big misconception for all of us. I can say my opinion all day long, but if you agree with it or anything else, or it's appealing, you're going to listen. If not, it offends you. You're going to go, well, your butthurt problems are not my problems. It's called freedom of speech, darling. Whether
Mhm.
you think or anything else, well, guess what? Your opinion doesn't matter. You know what does matter? The Constitution. That's
Right.
it. That's
Says
it. Other than that, your opinions, go get some toilet paper
Opinions are
down
like
at the
buttholes. Everybody's got one.
yeah, go get some toilet paper from the dollar store or
So
Dollar
that was
Tree or
always
something
sold.
down there, and give it a little wipe and put
Right.
a little cream on
My-
that thing if it's a little hurting or infected and inflamed.
My dad always told me, "Don't play with poop. Flush." He always taught me to flush my poop. Don't play with it. Like,
But
Yeah,
listen, some people just have that, and they're going to
I don't
hate. Listen,
block
there
her,
are
y'all,
people
block
that are going to hate us, slander us, come up with a half different things and all this other stuff. And it's going to be bullshit. It's going to be the same thing. It's like paparazzi or anything else when stuff like this is. You're going to have people that are haters. Why? Because their husbands, their spouses, their somebody in their family is a cop or somebody is a judge or they work for CPS, and it's going to affect their livelihood and everything else. And you know what? I never took and asked you to take and do things unconstitutionally. You did that all on your own. And when you do that, according to the laws of this land, there are criminal acts for that. And you're going to have to answer for them, bottom line.
She's still there, y'all.
I don't know. You see her?
Well, I mean, I had to go. These are only YouTube.
Let them talk.
On the CPS.
Well, hey, there's your blockers. Look, flush.
News channel.
Listen, you know what I was taught?
Yeah,
when you got a turd, flush it and don't go chasing it through the sewer. Don't chase that turd. And that goes for your bad relationships and everything else. But listen, we're going to have to do a little bit of different thinking because we've all been fucked with in the head. Seriously, by what has been going on, that's being exposed. We have been brainwashed, a lot of us, and we're not awake. And when this comes back, you're going to have no choice. And people go, well, I, and the whole thing with the Karens and everything else. Mind your damn business.
Negative Nancy.
It ain't. Nobody cares. And it's not breaking a law. And unless it is, you have the freedom to take it, turn around and call somebody and saying, hey, a law is being broken. They're going to say, what? Well, they're doing this, and that. Well, guess what? That's all that. No, that's not a law. The only person that has the ability to make laws is Congress under the Constitution. Right. Oh, wait, does that mean, everything the state's doing, not supposed to be doing? That's how bad this deep state corporation runs. And it has many names. Listen, they will put somebody in the jail, under the jail. They will threaten you with your own family. I've seen them. I've even seen them to where, be police intimidation and all this other stuff come in, or judges feel intent. Listen, people are put in jail for because you said something or you did this or you did that, all these other things. That's not constitutional. That's all up in your damn feelings. And there's no place for anybody of us citizens, the people of the United States, the residents, to call somebody who we trust, because who are you going to call? Nobody takes it and answers the phone. The sheriffs don't want to do it because they've been told to stand down or not get involved, and they have immunity almost across the nation. Who are you going to call? The district attorney? Nope, they're in line with everybody else, the same way with the one over here. Do you realize this federal case that we filed? The local district attorney and sheriff's office refused to take a report or investigate what I put in there that is now a federal crime for treason and sedition. Congratulations, Blount County. That's right. Those are the people that are in the positions of power in our county. Right there. They buried this because it knew it would cost them everything. But now there's a federal thing and a federal case to where now, Gunner was smart and played low. Stayed low till he popped this all up on your ass, and it's game on. Now we ain't going back, because guess what? I ain't on the defensive anymore. I'm playing offense. And listen, you may have whooped my ass the first time,
but you ain't gonna do it again.
You didn't take me out completely. There's the problem with people like us. You just can't. But you can't do it and get away with it. There's the problem. Now it turns back on you, and when I come after you, like I promised you, Crenshaw, and the rest of you, I'm going to bring your whole corrupt system down to the freaking ground. And I'm going to laugh the entire time.
Don't mess with
and then you're going to feel the presence and the very hand of the Creator himself crush your everything down to nothing, because he warned you to stay away from the kids and the families. It's protected.
Leave the babies alone.
It's under God's law.
That's right.
And then you're going to find out what it's like that all of a sudden you made fun of in your little jokes and everything else in the back room of how, poor they were, or how this was and how that. How's that going to feel sitting in another country because you have treason and sedition charges for stealing children? And yes, you will be charged with crimes against children. The very thing you tried to take and hang on everybody else, guess what? It's going to get hung right back on your neck. That addition will be on there. Crimes against children will be charged for everyone involved.
Sleep at night. Rick Bradshaw needs to go to jail.
Now, here's the thing. The roles are going to reverse. You destroyed our families and everything else. You know what's going to happen? You're going to be taken away from your family. All your stuff is going to be gone. Now, all your kids are going to feel like, oh, that's my dad, my mom, and anything else that has committed federal crimes to steal children while doing all this other things. Alone. Now, all those kids, the kids, that's going to rotate the system. Now, guess who comes in? Somebody's going to come in. Why? Because your children are gone because you're a threat to the country.
Yep.
Oh, you didn't think of that, did you?
They wasn't thinking when they were cutting themselves the money.
And you profited off of it with everything you had. The
Mhm.
vacation homes, the nice cars, all the
They're
stuff
gonna
those
lose
judges
it all.
have, and all of this, all gone.
It's gone.
All becomes federal property to do what? To repay the damage you did, to
That's
repay the RICO Act, to seize it.
the RICO.
Then what's left is your insurance and
Is-
everything else. You know how many insurance
she
companies
still
are going to
on
go
there?
belly up for
Crimes
people because for the judges, they all have to have bonds and all this other stuff?
Yep.
Imagine maxing out all the bonds on all of them. How
Is she
much
still
is
on
this
there?
going to cost? Now, we the people were punished for COVID-19, but guess what? For them stealing your children and everything else, you're going to get a hell of a damn paycheck.
And someone, are y'all still having trouble with Lauren? If she's still here, I will definitely go report that when I get off of the live. I
don't
did.
know. My stuff
Yeah.
don't even take in
Yeah, it's
through
just
here.
yeah. When they sometimes, but when they sit here and they keep on, and that person must have went like to one of our other channels and got on, because I did block them on the restream part and the CPS breaking news, but I don't know if they jumped on.
Listen, this was just posted a couple hours ago from Craig Sawman Sawyer. If you don't know who that is, he's with a group that frees and breaks up pedo rings and child trafficking rings here in the United States, working with a lot of special operators and stuff. There is something he's just posted that Soros funds the campaigns of district attorneys with agreements that they won't prosecute child sex crimes. Do you guys hear this? Yeah, won't do that. And they're saying they do joint operations arresting child predators where there are good DAs who are on the job. They're even asking to know who they are. That's right, guys. It's going down. It's not a joke. And I think we lost Danielle. And she's taking care of something. So guys, listen, man, it's been a great show. I hope this takes and okay.
I'm still here.
We'll hang out afterwards because we'll cover a few things going through there. Guys, we have a lot going on. We're going to move fast. You guys may see me pop in and out. We're going to try and keep up with this, with the Gunning for CPS show. We're going to try and keep you informed. But a lot of this is we're going to work on one, one families back together, kids home, some of these other things. We're working on that. There is a federal restraining order that is in process right now that will allow our family to reunification to happen with a federal restraining order to hold them back because of the unconstitutionality. When that happens, like I said, you guys seen Sharon, but understanding too, we have the full weight of the federal government behind us now. That we are in a federal case, and any tampering with anybody or anybody that we have verbally told you on this show or otherwise that are federal witnesses, you cannot tamper with them. You cannot fool with them. You cannot do anything. And if any of those people that I have told that to, if that happens, they have been instructed to contact the FBI directly that they are taking and you're involved in this case. Court date has not been set because what we're dealing with, the first process is filing, second is acceptance, next is you can do I'm trying to think of name depositions, federal depositions right now, and there's a possibility you would go through the magistrate, which is the second name that you'll see on that case. That's the magistrate. If we want to go into mediation and settle out of court, no, we will not be settling out of court. Yes, we are required to go into mediation, but no, we will be going to court and we will be seeing that judge. The magistrate is assigned for that if you want to do mediation and kind of settle out of court and deal with all that stuff and not go through the case. There is too much involved in this case.
Can you give
there is no federal witness case number. There's not a federal witness case number. There's just a case number. We revealed that last night on the show. We got the
Arnberg take their license.
Let me see here. I don't know if I've got it.
I can tell you that the Virginia, if you guys know who Virginia Guffrey is, you know what he's talking about. She was an Epstein victim. That's what Florida Mom's talking
Yeah.
about. Yep, and of course, like these are the fourth. This is the fourth Epstein victim that. Oops, whoops. They say they
That's-
commit suicide, but she says she would never do that, and she was living
Yeah,
a wonderful
but, you
life.
know.
She wouldn't do that. So yeah, you.
But you already
It's
know
sad
what they're doing.
situation. Exactly. Exactly.
Let's see. I'm trying to. This
Sorry, guys, I had to get some
rumble.
paperwork. So when we say that this case is real, yes,
Rumble.
this came in the mail. You see that? There's the return. Because and everybody said, a lot of people said, why didn't you go to Washington, D.C.?
States District Court.
It says Eastern District of Tennessee Office of United States District Court. So you have to have a district court. Even if you go to Washington, D.C., you still have to have your case in the place in the district it actually happened.
In your state?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
But it's still federal court.
Brenda, there's
It's
like
no
90 something freaking district.
Okay. You want to type this out in there
Yeah.
and put this in the bottom?
Yeah.
3:25
3 colon
dash
when's the colon that one? Okay. Dash.
dot
Is okay.
Dot, dot.
I was just kidding. I did. Dot,
vertical, not horizontal.
right?
Unless it's
Right.
inverted.
Look, right? So 3 semicolon
3 colon, not semicolon. Semicolon's the dot
I know
with the little
semicolon's
curvy
the other
thing.
one. I know. Like I was
Yeah,
saying,
my wife corrects me on that all the time. Yeah.
Look,
3:25
3
dash
colon
CB Charlie Victor
dash Charlie Victor
dash 00199
00199
00199, yes, dash
mm-hmm.
Charlie Echo Alpha
Charlie Echo Alpha.
to
think for a minute.
forgive me once again, heart failure issue.
Oh, you're good.
Cough.
No worries.
Dash Delta. Hold on a
Right.
second.
You all right? See, that's what's
Sorry, guys.
you know. That's
The last 3 is Delta Charlie Papa.
And that's it. So 3 colon 25 dash Charlie Victor dash 00199 dash Charlie Echo Alpha dash Delta Charlie and P Papa.
Papa.
Yeah. I was
Yes.
gonna say Papa. Papa. That it? All right, there you go. And you want that in the bottom, right? The case number's
Yes.
on there. Okay, there we go. It should be
This
coming.
is from the federal court.
Oh, where'd it go?
If you notice, I'm going to show you what this says. If you don't know what's going on here, this is a thing from the federal court saying we now have the ability to start to order governing depositions. So if we want to do depositions, we have the time to do that, and that's usually done with the magistrate and all that other
Should
stuff.
be showing at the bottom.
That is
At the
not,
bottom
yeah,
of the
that is
screen,
not something.
everybody.
Yeah, we're not doing that. We are
It's
going
coming
to
slowly.
court. We are not negotiating. We do not negotiate with domestic terrorists. We do believe that this does take and meet the DOJ and FBI standards for that particular classification.
My bad, y'all.
So, but guys, we hope this helps you out. And I'm sorry to take up so much of the show with some of
No,
this,
you're
but I think
good.
a lot of this
I
is
mean, I think
answered.
a lot-
And
Yeah, a lot had questions, and I believe that they got
did
their,
that cover anything? Anybody else got any questions? You guys got any questions for me that
pretty much.
we can try and
pretty much.
answer?
Pretty much is like a case that to bring the light to it, and then we do our individual cases. right?
This is the case once again for all 50 states. What it does
That's it.
is we show that the state of Tennessee is basically involved, that they're guilty as hell, which is not a problem. The evidence sent in makes it clear and convincing evidence that this has already happened. Regardless of what we do anyway, from my understanding, that the judge, once they get a hold of this case, or they actually look at the case, there's the fullness of the case. And ours is a little bit different because when we filed our motion, we also filed for federal subpoenas immediately. We know what the paperwork is and this and that. It's just a formality to basically get documentations or what we ask from the state of Tennessee to provide evidence of what we're talking about. If not, we have it completely. So if that evidence has been tampered with, dealt with, or anything else, we can then say that is not the evidence provided. This is the evidence we want and looking for. You're tampering with evidence, and then report it to the judge. So those games that they think they're going to play because this is pro se sue juris, fuck around and find out, because you're going to understand. And Daniel will tell you, as well as a few others, I'm not that guy. And you're right, I'm not a lawyer, but also understand this. I'm autodidact as fucking hell.
Yep.
I read it, I pick it up, I apply it, and it's fast.
Yep.
Fast.
You fuck with the right one.
So if you think you're going to play
right
games, and the other thing, as far as playing, what they say they had legalese and all this other bullshit going on, listen, you walk into a federal courtroom, we're under a different set of rules. All your statute codes and all that bullshit, it's out the window. Because guess what? We're going to what federal court is. Federal court is basically considered common law court because the Constitution itself is common law.
Right. Common law.
So when we do this, we're going to enter that in, as well as the evidence of all other 49 states that's saying, Your Honor, the same thing's happening here in all 49 states, and we're putting it on the record. Here it is once again. And that evidence, some of that evidence, once again, we covered yesterday with Dallas's show. You can go to the Stand Store / or / Malibu Dallas and go to his site, and it's right there. We showed it on the live. I say trees of all 50 states. It's on the left-hand side. Click it. It has a folder, and then it has all your states in there. That is just the beginning of some of the evidence, but it's more than enough of clear and convincing evidence to do for a jury and a judge to see the connection, as well as we the people. We are working on the rally. Matter of fact, I believe Danielle is working her way towards the area here soon, as well as hopefully if we can get a hold of a few others to do this. We are looking to put together the rally. It's we're looking to hopefully do it here in Blount County, Tennessee. Yes, it has made the news. We have some meetings to go to. Once again, to talk about this and organize this thing. And what we're going to do is share with you all the evidence, the evidence and everything else, and walk you through everything. LMN, that's laughing my ass off out loud.
Yeah. Timmy, it's what can I say?
Acronym, whatever the case.
Acronym, yeah. Like it's a kit, yeah. Like that.
Yeah, each letter stands for something.
That's what. Like.
But when this rally happens, listen, guys. Chris is not here tonight. I know out of Chicago, one of our advocates there. And listen, get with your advocates, everybody else. Let's build this case against them to where it just overwhelms them, is what we're looking to do. What you do for your money and everything else and the other stuff, that's the kids coming back naturally. That's going to happen with time. Like I said, even if you filed your own case, you still got to deal with all the things. But this just makes it easier because it's going to set precedents. It's going to set case law. And like I said, something else may trigger before then. That's not up to me. All I can tell you is what we can do and the possibilities that are for there. All I can tell you is yes, we have a bulletproof case. So there's, once again, and this is not coming just from me. We have had several constitutional professors, retired professors, so on and so forth, look over all of this, talk to them about it. These are people that are away from the bar associations, some very, very interesting people with a lot of history. And listen, guys, we've run this through the ringer and the sifter to where it's exactly what it needs to be.
And you're right. We need to get it going in every state.
However, you guys listen, get with your advocates, get with Chris. I think Danielle's got her information. We're working on trying to, I think, maybe start a show for her because she's dealing with Illinois and she's in Chicago. A lot of connections she has, a lot of connections that Malibu has. We got different people doing different roles for different things. And that is, we're just doing our best, because the more we fortify this case, the more we shove the evidence all the way up their ass, their eyes will turn brown and come out their mouth. Yes, it's disgusting, but it's an old saying.
Word.
Yeah.
Street
Yes.
justice.
And this is we the
Oh.
people speaking up saying we won't take it. But the thing is, we're not just a voice.
We're
We're
There you
coming
go,
with the
Brenda.
evidence.
not gonna take it. No, we're not gonna take it. We're not
We
gonna
got
take
a
it
right to
anymore.
choose, right?
Listen,
There
guys,
she goes.
this took a lot of hard work with a lot of people,
Yeah.
a lot of
Uh-oh.
hours between. I know myself, I can't even tell you how much time I have in it, and I do stuff fast.
Oh, it's
Malibu Dallas
I
helped out a
don't-
lot with this. We were hoping we were going to have a federal attorney to help us out, but no, they wanted to sabotage our case because of what it was, because they knew it would affect them. These are independent advocates. You have to watch advocates, man. Listen here, Kitty, 24 Cat.
yes.
There are some advocates that, let me tell you something, they make probably backdoor money. And I'm not saying this is just a theory. We're going to call it a theory that they're getting kickbacks or something through there to destroy families and do that they actually pay them to do that, and or take money from families. There's a lot of scam artists out there, guys. Listen,
There is.
a
I
lot.
can tell you.
And it's gotten worse, and they're all trying to hit me up with everything. It's like, nope, I'm not near you. No, I'm not. No, this doesn't work. No. Oh, well, we're doing this. We're good. Go ahead and do it. But I'm not going to join you because I'm not compromising, destroying this thing.
Right. And if y'all want to feel as though y'all need help to start maybe a rally or whatever in your state,
Get with
you can
Chris,
reach out to me or
coordinate
Brenda.
it. Well, that way we know to send you a link to what we're going to do, because at the same time, we're going to do a live broadcast through one of the channels, probably gunning for CPS, through the CPS Breaking News Network. We're going to be live probably the whole time that is going on, regardless of the shows.
The rally.
Yeah, for the rally. If you've got rallies going that way, you guys can tune in. If you got access to big screens, if
I say we
bars,
try to get them the
listen,
same
bars
day.
or anything like that, they have big screen TVs. They can hold some people. If you've got to host the parties yourself or everybody else,
heck, New York, let's go to the Big Apple.
Whatever it may be, guys, listen, this is something everybody, whether you're involved with, whether you're involved with CPS or not, this affects every American in this country. Your children, your grandchildren, if you don't have children, if you ever plan on having children, you need to get a hold of this, because you're going to see what is happening.
And the average person does not see this. I'm reaching out to everyone.
Yeah, listen, Kitty. Share that case number with them. That's what you're going to do. That's the most important thing, is you have a reference. Otherwise, you're talking smack. Oh, no, this is what's going on. And then send them a link to last night's show. Just that simple. Look over this and that and tell me it doesn't make sense.
I can create like a thing that they can send out just to share out. I can make that one real quick tonight.
Whatever you guys got to do, the point is,
everything.
You've got the email, you've got the guidelines, you've got this and that. Now it's up to you. Why? Because this is about us, we the people. Either you're going to stand with us or go work for something else. That's fine. I don't care. If you want to collaborate with us, share evidence with us with no incentive to do anything else, and that's the thing. I am not, like I said, I am not going after this for the big thing. What I'm doing is to shut down the system. You guys file your individual, and there'll be 1,000 resources for you, I guarantee. Won't it, Brenda and Danielle? Yeah. By the time this is over, all those lawyers and everything, they'll be like, hey, I can handle something. I'm just do it for $100 and this and that, and fill it out. And all the templates will start popping up, and all the advocates will start doing this and that. And guys, watch yourself. And trust me, if anything,
believe everybody that you talk to.
Don't believe everybody, and look at the format that we put on it. You guys have access to our case file. You just got to tailor it towards yourselves. Do a little research, educate, do some of the seminars of learning how just constitutional and filing. That's all you really need to deal with, okay? Is how to file a federal case in your constitutional rights, case laws, how those work, everything else. How to articulate yourself, how to handle yourself if you're pro se sui juris, on how to question people, how the objections go, how this goes. Yes, that's what a lawyer's for. Yes, that's why you pay for a lawyer. Why? Because you're showing the court you're incompetent, not enough to take and represent yourself.
And what we can do is I can have a follow-up show on like the affidavit and stuff that you were talking about
Yeah.
for everybody, just describing
We
it
can do
so we can,
specialty shows. And
Yeah.
you guys can share it. And,
Yeah,
and
we-
listen,
we
we'll
can
try to
show
do
where
our
to
best for
go.
advertising. If we've got a show, is there a way to do that? I know we can schedule the show, but can you do it like a
Yes.
show special on or okay.
Yes, like a
There you
commercial
go.
type thing, like to a
Well,
like to let people know something's coming up, or just like a commercial.
well, no,
or
you
just-
can do it that way, but there's a way on this platform. You go up there and schedule the next show.
Oh,
I
yeah,
didn't know if
yeah.
they could say this show's it. Yeah. So you could do that, schedule
I
the
can
show,
do
and
that.
then maybe do another thing with it and the
Yeah.
link for it or something. But
And I
however,
could
I'll
even
let you
play
guys
like a
handle it.
little
What if you
video
even,
with it, like a little clip. with it,
That's
like,
what I'm thinking.
hey.
In that form that he was showing, maybe if you could like freeze frame that form on the
I
commercial
thought you
type
said
thing. So this is
something
what
else,
we're going.
Brenda.
Hmm?
I
No.
thought you said porn. I said, girl, what are you talking about?
Now,
The
Kitty,
form.
listen,
form.
Kitty 24. Let me address this. You've got them on camera. Send me that evidence with your sworn affidavit, because that is
Google
something
form,
we can
Brenda.
use, and
Are
we
you talking
can
about
give as entered as evidence under discovery, and go, Your Honor, we want to put all this on the record, and then we could have a day off or a week off and just let them review the evidence and then call back to court later. They're
Right.
going to have several weeks of sorting through evidence with what we have.
You're gonna have a lot.
But the clear
Gonna be
court,
a mess.
the point is to give them a very clear picture of what we're dealing with.
I
But
know
just by the
Florida's
way that we filed it,
messed
and we showed you the cover sheet, we are literally accusing the state
Florida.
of Tennessee of treason and sedition to what? Kidnap children and destroy families.
Do we have anybody in here from Louisiana that's had their kids taken, or anybody? I've not heard Louisiana.
All
on the
50
map.
states, guys, get the word out to all your groups,
I
your
wanna know
platforms,
Louisiana.
anything you're in, share with your friends.
We'll
This
do a
is real.
follow-up
We're
show.
looking for it, and we're not asking for a
Somebody,
dime.
Somebody
Other than
reached
put this
out
in.
from Ohio as well. I mean, I think we've got
We
a
have
couple in
Utah.
Ohio,
Utah. I know Kitty's from Utah. We've had more
Missouri.
states coming out. So
Yeah.
what y'all can do is be
And-
looking out for mine and Brenda's show, and
Yeah.
we'll have a follow up on this to
And Kitty
refresh
can't put that
everybody.
in the same format and just attach your affidavit and that video clip or a link to the video clip, something like that. If you can shorten it up, just where he comes in and this and that, and you say this and that, great stuff to have. That's the kind of evidence we're looking
can
for to
help.
show this is happening across the nation. And that's what we're showing to the jury, not only on paper, but actual injured people.
I can
We knew this,
actually
and like I
make
said,
it
as this
easier
moves
for
forward,
them.
we know caseworkers and everybody's going to start coming forward with tons of evidence. And by that
That's-
time, they're going to be, let's make a deal, and it's going to be like, we really don't need you.
We don't wanna
That's what it's
mediate.
going to
We
come
ain't
down
here
to. So if you're a
thank you,
caseworker
Remy.
and you're
Thank you.
listening to this and you get on board early,
Shame on you.
you may catch a chance of catching a little break. But when you wait till the last minute or do anything else,
Not like I
negotiations
don't be a
are
Danielle. I'm
done
just kidding.
and gone.
Right.
Seven
They
cylinders
should
or
already be
husband.
that way. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But-
Well, awesome. Thank y'all for coming in with us.
Yeah.
And please reach out. Y'all got the email,
Absolutely.
Brenda. Yeah.
Hey, listen,
because-
guys, none of this is possible without you guys, our viewing audience,
Right.
and your words, your power, and everything else.
Voices.
This is what is going on. Our voices and filing of our papers that make a difference. The other stuff, is it going to end CPS? No. We're going after
Mhm.
treason and sedition. Tell me one other group that's doing that. Nobody.
We have to.
Nobody.
Be the
Not
voice.
maybe
We have
against the actors, but are you involving the state? And do you know how to go after the
that's the
state? Because
thing,
I've had
is
several
that-
people tell me, "Oh, you can't do that. That's impossible." And those are lawyers. I go, really? Because I just did it.
Tell them you
Wow.
brought it. Tell them.
Guess you
Yeah.
should have paid attention to constitutional class and
Such a
federal
shit.
case filings. And here's my other question for those of you that end up running after me. Go ahead when you do that. Make sure you kind of flap your little federal license that you can even practice in federal court to have a conversation with me.
See that?
Oh,
Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
because yes, I know about your
Look,
licensing
that's-
situations. Every state.
Bad.
Oh,
Federal-
and is
y'all-
that going to be such a fun thing to talk about
That
too?
is- Look, that
And
is
how
not
that's
cool,
used
y'all.
against the people.
Judges, license, yes.
Yes,
And
because I'm
against
going
the
to tell you
lawyers.
what.
Listen, Listen,
Mhm.
guys, there are
Brenda,
good attorneys out there
Brenda.
that want to help families and kids and do their job and do it right. Listen, The problem is they have been educated wrong, and they haven't put the Constitution first. And if you don't
Right.
have a federal license, and if you're an attorney, let me tell you something, a good one, you better go get it. There better be a mass exodus for a lot of you going to get that. Why? Because there won't be a state court for you to take and practice anything in real soon. And no, we're not playing.
They have made up so much stuff. It's crazy. I mean, even it's changed in the last 10 years. It's bullshit. It's bullshit.
The fact they've got away with this is disgusting, and all of it that they've sold to everybody is, this is for the children. This is for the children. If you cared so much about the children and anything about the family, you would have respected the Constitution, but you didn't do it, did you? Why? Because I got the evidence you don't.
Yeah, and a lot of these caseworkers they don't have a license. They are expired.
2 years, yeah, and the judges will overlook it.
Yep.
Yeah, they'll overlook it and throw it out. They don't
What
care.
about the fact that during your trial, I mean, did anybody get to cross-examine these CPS workers or these accusers?
Probably not.
They brought no evidence or anything like that. That's against the law right there. Not to be
The
able
judge
to,
make you aware of your rights.
The other thing to put on there too, one of the other constitutional rights violations, and it's a due process violation. Forensic interviews are not allowed in the courtroom. It's a violation of due process. If something's happened, then the exculpatory evidence, in other words, the physical evidence, should overrule it to not need that person. If not, you have a right to what? In civil court or anything, and criminal court, to face your accuser. And here's the other part. We just dealt with it before. The Constitution has a serious part. Is it all states? Article 3, Section 2, Clause 2, and we're going to go back and forth and back and forth.
Is a part.
It is, once again, there is no injured party. The state cannot be an injured party.
Right. And the Supreme Court is.
It says very clearly, Article 3, Section 2, Clause 2 explicitly grants the Supreme Court of the federal government, the United States, the original jurisdiction in cases in which a state shall be a party. In other words, you versus the state, you know who has jurisdiction? The federal court. They're not even supposed to be adjudicating cases against you because the state is not a person. It's an entity.
Right.
Court cases involved in those courts have to be living human beings, not entities.
Wow. What am I doing for forensic interviews?
And it goes all the way to the 11th Amendment.
Yep.
11th Amendment considerations. Although the 11th Amendment limits suits against the states by citizens of other states or foreign entities, it does not restrict cases where states are plaintiffs. Wasn't that the position they took on you against you in family court?
That's right. They couldn't do that. No.
Nope.
So they're trying to keep everything on the state level. So the federal
they're not supposed to, and it's supposed to bump up. Absolutely.
Yep. And
right there, or plaintiffs, or where disputes is it's state against state. In other words, they can't go to a third state and say, "Hey, mediate this." No, it has to be the federal government.
Oh, see, and
that concept right there reinforces the idea, and the original jurisdiction applies so broadly to controversies involving states as parties.
Back it up. Right.
You're done. The Constitution says right there, you are practicing. You are practicing without the authority of the Constitution.
That's like
null and void.
Void, right? That's like them.
Anything that deviates from the Constitution is what? Null and void.
Void. I was going to say void amnesia, but no. Null and
checkmate. 100%. See, you played checkers with me. There's the thing that they fucked up with me, Danielle, is they wanted to force me to play checkers. And I told them, I said, they're forcing it. Why? Because they're playing mind games. They're trying to get your this done. They're trying to get this done. You know what? Hold out, understand. It's called embracing the suck. In other words, this shit sucks, but I still got to go through it. But if your frame of mind,
make you buckle under pressure.
If you frame of mind
Yep.
is I'm just collecting evidence and I'm racking up all the shit I'm getting ready to do to you in federal fucking court and fuck you up and go through your bullshit process. Well, then I'm going to drop the bomb on you and I'm going to take everything you fucking got. There's where they mess with you into where you don't think straight.
That's right.
And then your attorney, if he's just doing family law attorney, well, you've got a constitutional rights issue. He has no jurisdiction, or he can't even practice in that court. So what does the attorney do? Do they tell you, hey, you need to, I'll go ahead and file this for you, but I can't file in federal court. You can't even file under federal question.
They don't tell you
if there's something for it. They won't tell you that. Matter of fact, they should be telling you, I'm only a state attorney, but you know, and I can't really go as far as this and that, but you really need to probably do this and fill this out. And this is what I'm recommending, but you may need another attorney. But if you go pro se, well, that's fine. You can do that too. But your lawyers are not giving that information that only have a state license. Instead, what do? Trap it in the state court instead of, wait, I have a Fourth Amendment violation from the very beginning.
On this state level.
No, that judge lost jurisdiction as soon as you said that and put it on the record.
So,
but they did what? They went on, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
I have constitutional rights violations.
Yes, but they kept pushing it and they kept rolling with it.
As soon as you say that on the record, the judge is required by the law. They have lost jurisdiction when you put that on the record in the courtroom.
Like when my son went over state line traffic, it should have went federal then. Like, and they
lost jurisdiction and power when they crossed the state line. Yes, you can technically go pick up your children. I'm not telling you to break the law. I'm telling you what the law says.
I did.
There's no jurisdiction. Why? No crime was committed in the state if you get your kid back.
I went and got my son, and they just they let him. He was an independent adult. And they had no.
But now listen, if you want to sue for you and your kids, let me explain something really, really quick. If you're going to sue for children or children that are underage and you do pro se sue juris, you cannot do that for your children. No. You have to have an attorney for somebody, a federal attorney
for
somebody like that, or they cannot be considered in the federal lawsuit. That is what it says.
They're adults now.
If they're adults now and competent over 18 and they can basically prosecute or be their own self-defense attorneys, we'll say, if you will, represent themselves competently, then absolutely they can. And if they try to pull that competency bullshit, turn around and say, well, what makes you competent? I'm licensed and I'm this and that. Well, the Constitution says I don't have to. I have the right to take and do that, and I don't have to prove anything to anybody. So long as I can articulate my case in common law language, according to the Constitution, and articulate it in a fashion and make this and follow the rules of the court, I don't have a problem. What's your problem? But you're going to call me incompetent. I'm not the one that violated the Constitution. There's going to be my argument. So please come up with something smart, because I get bored very easy. And Danielle and my wife and a lot of other people that know me, yes, Gunner does get bored very easy. And that's why Gunner is a lot the way he is, because that's where I get really creative. And you don't want to see me creative and, well, upset at you. Let's just put it that way, because I get really creative. Yeah. And if you think I don't, oh, please, I dare you to fucking underestimate me. I dare you.
That's what they've tried to do to all of us. You know, you just don't fuck with kids. That's just, you don't fuck with families, you fuck with kids. Like,
nope.
Growing up,
listen, if we had family and community like we did, there's absolutely no use for CPS because we deal with it ourselves.
Right. We used to look, my mama got.
Let me tell you something. You beat on your old lady, family coming to rip you out your house and whoop your ass. Oh, well, there's the problem. Too many charges for assault and this and that. That's where you should have discretion as we'll say a sheriff's officer, this and that. What did you do, this and that? That is called common law justice with this, that, well, you assaulted. No, I defended. And once again, that's where they go, well, you hit this. No, I defended another person. I did that. And there are people that get arrested for defending other people. But you know what's going to kill them? What's that?
I was just saying, they wanted to explain deprived and least restrict means. I know least restrict means can we explain deprived and
Deprived means you never had a chance at exercising those things whatsoever. Restricts means that you have some of them, but they've restricted some of them. Yeah.
Your text is not showing up in the chat. Hold on. It's
who knows?
Weird. Huh. Yeah, it's been acting up because I know I had to put some blockers on, but I'm sorry, Dr. Death. I see this one now.
Guys, the easiest way to watch our show is on the YouTube channel that it's uncensored. You can communicate with us directly. We don't always get, even though they are connected sometimes with Facebook, they do come through. They don't come through, whether it's on Rumble, some of the other platforms, this and that. And listen, guys, if you've got a YouTube, listen, if you've got a YouTube, TikTok, anything else, you have the ability to share it directly from our page when it goes live and anything else and broadcast that, especially if you have a page. Hey, I want to rebroadcast this show through my stuff. That's a great way to get a lot of this, a lot of the word out to a lot of people. So, well, guys, it's been fun. I know it's getting late. It's 1 o'clock here in Eastern time. I know Brenda's probably went to bed. She's had enough, and we're night owls because we do a lot of our study and everything till 3, 4, or 5 o'clock in the morning. A huge shout out to a couple of my kids. I had 2 graduates between the 2 weeks. One high school's done. The last of my kids are out of public schools. Thank God. The second one just got her RN done.
Awesome.
And with the work that she's in and the people that she's with, man, she had a golden opportunity to work with probably one of the best cardiothoracic surgeons and doctors in the country. She actually is an RN now. So something to do with, I think, surgical assistance, but she's in the OR. But yeah, she got her degree. I'm very proud of her. I'm proud of my kids, and I look forward to you guys getting your kids home and being proud of them. Maybe making up for birthdays that you missed. Listen, the other thing is don't focus too much on what you've missed. Work on moving forward. Yeah. I mean, if you want to do something special like on their birthday, wait till their next birthday and do a huge birthday bash when they get back. If you do Christmas, make Christmas huge for them again. However you want to do, and understand too, but also understand your child has changed and they've gone through some traumas too, and you're going to have to work for that and be peaceful and reassure them that you love them and anything else. And there's going to be a lot of other resources opening up for families as this is exposed to help you, and resources. But guys, be very careful who you trust with your children and your mental health. Yes. And my opinion and my thing is great to get an education if you can learn it and apply it and identify it. Listen, don't get stuck on like everybody. What's the new one with all the thing with, for a while there was a big trend with a lot of women and everything else with calling all their men narcissists, or the narcissist words going around. And moms were doing it to dads a lot. I mean, there was a lot of my narcissistic ex, my this and that.
My baby daddy.
Yeah. A lot of that, guys, you're going to have to get past your feelings and get what's for the best of the child. I get you're hurt. It didn't work out. Be a fucking adult and just split ways and work it the fuck out, whether you like it or not. It's a situation you're dealt. Add it for an adult. Well, and some people don't want nothing to do with your kids, and mine doesn't. Great. That's where some of those systems are for. But to abuse this system, to inflict pain on somebody else and the damage it does to your children.
To inflict pain on someone else's.
What is wrong with you? That's not the act of an adult or a parent. That's an act of a child.
Yeah. These are grown folks acting like children and doing things to children.
It's got to stop. And they have conditioned us to do this, to be against each other. This is part of the plan. You have felt there's the awakening you're going to have to do, is all those people you were angry and hateful and all this other shit too. And we're all going to have to do some examining and shit like that to turn around and go, maybe it wasn't all their fault. Maybe it wasn't that. And you're going to have to give a little grace, but then you got to remember too, the shit that you did to people, that because you didn't have the information and you were caught up and you were brainwashed into this shit. Yeah. We're going to have to do as a country a whole lot of self-examining.
We need each other
and really evaluating things with now that we know.
remember when communities would together, neighbors look out for neighbors.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Block
this,
parties, all that stuff.
right.
Yeah. Oh
The
yeah.
community flea market, like yard sales. What happened? Like they
Yeah.
don't even have that
And-
90-mile
and
yard sale here in Georgia.
even
no
if
more.
you had a block party or something like that, that was for a lot of people, because a lot of that went on because you didn't have family events to go to, because nobody liked their fucking family. Or they had some of their family over to be part of it because it was a pretty cool thing to do.
Yeah.
Whatever your circle is, man. But here's the thing:
but now it's
stop trying to hurt yourself in
Don't.
some ways, and dealing with your problems the wrong ways. Deal with them like a damn adult. Learn from your mistakes.
get outside.
We've all failed. We're all humans. Listen, we get the opportunity
Everybody
to screw up
makes
another
mistakes.
human beings. Yeah. That's
all
our
make-
God-given constitutional right, is to screw up our children. We do the best we can. And
my
some of
mama-
us,
my
some of
mama told
y'all
me I
need
was
some
the-
really serious help. And listen. I need to say this and say this clearly. As a parent, I know you love your children. I know you want the best for your children. I know, especially mamas, everything else with this, that's out there. There's people out there that believe they'll always need their mom. Listen, they may need their parents throughout their life or anything else, but they don't need the mom that was raising them at 10 and 12 and 13 years old. You need to be raising your children as an American in the American way, and the only way is to live in a world without you when you're gone, so they can survive when you're taken apart. Now, most of us have experienced our children taken from us, and our children were never prepared. We weren't prepared or anything. But there's the difference. Prepare your children to live in a world without you, and give them the skill sets. If they don't have what they absolutely need, but the ability to reason it out and acquire those skills even as they grow, which is natural, give them that opportunity to do that, but teach them that way, that this world is cruel. Once you turn 18, you're in school, everything's nice, it's this, and you want to make it comfortable, and the world's like this, or you may go to church every Sunday or do everything within this group, and the world is right. But it's not always like that, is that, throughout life, is it? Nobody's had a life I would be really surprised if nobody's had a life that's been untouched from some sort of trauma. But the idea is that the one thing about being Americans is we're resilient as fuck throughout history. Beat us the fuck down to an inch of our life, and we come back and whoop your ass.
Right.
That's what America's known for. We'll
Just
take
when
and
you
be
think
tolerant for a
it's-
lot of shit.
Just when you think it's almost
now-
over.
The same
Can
thing
make
we
the
talked
biggest-
about with people being in the homosexual community, a lot of those, and they have a lot of trauma and damage and this and that people don't understand and have compassion. Now add the factor of the stuff with the foods and everything else, and now the research that came out with Japan saying that part of the soybean plant can actually physically turns you from male to female. You wonder why we have gender dysphoria and this and all these other things, and the people that I don't feel right in my body and all the other stuff. That's because you're eating that part of the soybean. How much soy has been in our diets?
A lot.
Holy shit. How do you know that they
A
didn't
lot.
just take the leaf or this part or trim it? They took
A
the whole plant and went,
lot.
here,
Yes.
let's make a bean paste out of it.
Here, get
Matter
this
of fact,
thing, y'all.
Those of you that eat tofu, you really better hope you get it from a good place. I'm just saying, because that's pure soybean. Pure soybean is what that is. You could be poisoning yourself and turning it. Now here, that's for men. You know what it does to women? Makes them extremely masculine and very emotional and very angry. Ever wonder why you can't take and control when you're going through and you're just out of control? And not even just that time of the month, but it's so bad.
Cortisol and just
It's your food.
hormones going crazy. Cortisol.
Oh, the amount of stuff that you can do naturally to take away some of the other things of going, yeah, I have women that turn around and, oh no, I started doing this in my diet and this, that. I don't even hardly get cramps, and my periods are nowhere near what they used to be. I mean, they're, crazy. And the over thing with, they have heavy cycles. He goes, I don't have a heavy cycles. I'm more stable. I'm this, I'm that. And this is just research, man.
Right. I know.
You have to eat according to you.
I know when I turn 40, I will tell you, my skin got like more acne, and then on top of that, my month, like it changed, and I noticed that a change in my diet, and I had to back off. Like I had to get away from the dairy and the bread and the, oh my goodness.
That was that old food pyramid that they put us through, that we had to have so many starches in our diet because
oh my gosh,
that's what they needed to sell. That was a marketing ploy, and we were lied to. And there's the trust that's gone for the FDA of
exercise.
You told us to do this and that and do that. Oh, well, just eat that. Then Michelle Obama come out. I'm sorry, Michael Obama. To turn around and it's already admitted what it was. It's been broadcast as a strong black man. Oh, yeah, it said it. It's known. So that's coming out too. But listen, it's not just the soy, it's the pesticides, it's everything. It's your food is dirty. It's not just that, it's everything. And that's what they're uncovering. And RFK is going through to show all this, but then there's other information like that was suppressed from Japan. Why? Because our news is shut off to contain us in a bowl. And that's what they wanted to do with TikTok and some of the other platforms and this and that was to keep you in the bowl. Do you see how quick Congress wanted to get rid of free speech?
I think it's like that Jim Carrey show, the Truman Show, where they're in like the bubble or that world.
Well, that's what they want to keep America in, that they don't want us to understand other countries, other cultures, and most people have never been outside the United States.
No. I mean,
to know what true property is. And then you have people that go to some of those. Oh, I know some religious organizations. Oh, let me tell you. And this is going to sound really sick because they are an international organization that, that's been here a little bit local, but they do a lot of stuff with kids, and a lot of them go to these third world countries and then come back. And, they live very simple, but then they think, well, you're just, their concept is you have no idea. You've never been to a third world country where they do this, this, and that. You're very rich and you don't even realize it. So you need to give a little bit more or this or that. Why? Because if you think your struggle's bad, what about this person? And I'm like, let alone they have dealings with children that they advertise as an international organization.
They say
that bothers me.
That's what other countries say.
Well, and a lot of it is in that. And the thing that's done it is our food. You know what's caused the obesity in this country? Our food, the additives,
our food.
The plastic.
The
this, the that.
That's.
But they don't want to give you the plants and anything else to take and deal with this that deals with why they control all of it. I mean, I just saw a thing the other day that it was talking about stuff in the 60s and 70s about when they outlawed like marijuana and some of the mushrooms and some of the other things. The reason is because it caused independent thinking, or with the marijuana, the excuse was we got to stop all the blacks, and they didn't say blacks, from stealing our white women by giving this and sleeping with them to where we have mixed babies. Guess which side of the aisle said that one? And it was both actually, but one more predominant. So guys, it's officially after midnight. We said it at the beginning of the show. And let's close with that in the show.
Mother's Day.
Guys, happy Mother's Day to all of you out there.
Happy Mother's Day.
Love on yourself even though your children are not there. Do something special for you.
You're still a mother. You're still that baby's parent.
Work on this and healing and getting ready for them to come home. Okay?
We're going to be hugging our babies even though.
Get to that place, find the way, and it's not in a bottle.
It's
not in a needle. It's not at the end of a pipe or anything else, and it's not worth your life. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Danielle can close us up.
All right, everyone. Happy Mother's Day to all you moms out there. Stay safe. Have a good night, and we will see y'all tomorrow. And just be looking out for the notifications. Okay?
Mother's Day edition of Gunning for CPS tomorrow at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Obsidian?
Miss Sharon will be with us.
Good.
Obsidian is right before our show with Truth Prevails. At 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock. We come on at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Check out those shows on the CPS Breaking News Network on YouTube. Hit the like and follow to any shows that you take and have to get notifications, especially if you have a YouTube account, and it will notify you when it actually works. When the shows are going live, it's supposed to work. But if not, we're working down a pretty good solid schedule. We may run a little late and everything else, but guys, we're doing the best we can with what we have. We have lives, we have everything too. And we're doing this at no cost. Nobody in this program or anything through it makes any money doing this. This is all pro bono work or no cost work. This is because we're Americans, we care. And it's really, we love our families. We know, and we hope that you love yours. Support and hold each other accountable. That's what it's about.
Have each other's back. Have each other's back.
Yeah, have each other's back. Stop the backstabbing and those people that are doing that shit. Listen, guys, we did a show on boundaries. Like I said, me and Sharon, time back in circles. Learn what those things are. Teach those things to your children. It's very important on who to trust and not to trust. Educate them, make them warriors, because you can't protect them when they're not around you. And how much time do you actually really spend around your child, especially if you're working and with public education? They are exposed more to outside sources than your own cultures and your own belief systems. So guys, you got to work extra hard and work at home. And yes, your children are worth it.
Yep. Children.
And that's my final thoughts. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. All right. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. Y'all be good. Y'all keep fighting. We're here. We're in this together, and we're going to bring our kids home, and we're going to hold these people accountable. So just don't give up. Your life matters, and we need you. All right. We love you. Good night to y'all. Be looking out for some shows, notifications, maybe during the day or whatnot. I said I would do a follow-up. So be looking for that, and I will get with Brenda on that. So everybody, y'all be good and have a wonderful Mother's Day. Stay good, stay safe, and keep fighting. Bye, everybody. Happy Mother's Day. Mother's Day. Right.
Party time. How did I get back in here? Well, I guess I'll play the closing credit. Guys, have a great day, and here's our closing credit.
In the United States, CPS makes upwards of $3 billion per day on trafficking and selling our children. The corruption may start with the caseworker, but goes through the judicial system, passing the governor through the Senate and into the White House. The entire system has a hand in the business known as CPS.
Our children are stolen every minute of a 24